Here's a quick video on the measures of change over an interval. So I want to suppose that we have two people and we're looking at the weight of those two people over several months. There's several different ways we can talk about the change. We can talk about the direct change, f of b minus f of a. Remember, f of b represents an output, and in this case, at a specific month. And the percentage change is really the difference of the two outputs divided by the initial input, which we're representing with f of a here. And then the rate of change. This actually turns out to be very, very important later on in calculus. F of b minus f of a. Well, this particular piece, this is the difference of, say, two y coordinates. And this is the difference of two inputs, or the difference of two x coordinates. So this is a relative rate of change. Not only does it take the weights and look at their difference, it also calculates or uses the time difference in the denominator. So what I would like you to do with the data set that you see there, I want you to figure out each one of these for Julie and George from January to April. In other words, your B is going to be the April month. A is going to be the January month. And I suggest that you put some numbers attached to these. In other words, January is month 0. Or you can call it month 1, and it's up to you. It's all whatever you want to do. But then each month add 1 to it. So if January is 0, April would be 3. So you should pause the video and try to do this yourself. So this is the way I would attack it. So I'm going to do this for Julie here. And Julie, no S at the end of that. And f of b and f of a, well, if I'm dealing with A, I want to label that with a 0 because that I'm going to call as January. And then B, I'm going to label that a 3 because if January is 0, April would be 3. So that means f of A and f of B. Well, for Julie, f of A is 137. And f of B, or April, is 129. So I can use these four numbers in all these calculations. In fact, A and B are only used down here at the rate of change. So for Julie, f of b minus f of a, it's going to be 129 minus 137, which is negative 6. Now the units for this are pounds. Now for this particular calculation for Julie, it is again 129 minus 137, but this time we're going to divide it by 129. In other words, this is the percent change starting at 129, which is equal to negative 6 over 129. And then we have to multiply this by 100%. So take a calculator and compute what this is. So I wound up getting negative 4.38%. So that's the percentage of weight that Julie lost from January to April. Now what about this rate of change? Well, rate of change, we've talked about this in the past, and the units for this are going to be a ratio of units. And we'll see after we're done that this ratio makes sense. So for Julie, f of b minus f of a is 129 minus 137, but now we're going to divide by b minus a. So in this case, it's 3 minus 0. So we wind up getting -6 divided by 3, which is -2. And the units for this are the units of the numerator divided by the units of the denominator. So we get pounds per month. I'll put in the answers for George without having you go through this with me. I hope you found that video useful. Have a good day. Bye.